What is up, everybody? The Ryman here, coming to you with more Dragon Age Origins. I believe we've really talked to everybody. Alistair, Sten, Zevran, Morgan. I think all we need to do now is talk to Liliana and win.
Something I can help with? Yes? What's on your mind?
Really, she already shared most of her stories. Alright, you and I both know that there's going to be a lot of dialogue with her.
Oh, it's been a long day. Rest would be welcome.
I like the new digs on you. Are you alright?
Yes, of course. I am just a little weary. As you may have noticed, I'm no spring chicken.
You're very sprightly for your age, though.
Thank you. You're very kind to say so. But in all honesty, I do not know how many years I have left in me. I have lived for such a long time, but there is always something else to do. And I have to keep going in order to do it. I think I will be glad when I am done.
Dang, kind of sounds like you're signing your death warrant early.
Oh, I don't know. I really don't.
And a little bit of approval, but because I gave her that one item, she's already at approval plus 74. I love the fact that I gave them so many different items and now I'm pretty much in good shape with all of them.
Have you encountered many abominations, apart from the ones in the Circle Tower?
I've heard many stories.
You are younger than I, and your nerves yet have some steel in them. Did you feel any fear facing the abominations?
Just a little bit. I'm the main protagonist, though. I don't have time to be afraid for too long.
The first time I saw an abomination, my blood turned to ice. It was months before the nightmares stopped. It was the knowledge that I could easily become one of them that frightened me the most.
I'll agree with her because I'm not really sure how I should properly weave around conversations with Wynn. Just be gentle, truthful, not too pushy, but not too passive either.
One slip. All it takes is one slip, and everything you are is simply gone. Replaced by madness. And there is no turning back, or at least that's what they say.
You have doubts?
Of late, I have begun to wonder if there is any way an abomination can be cured. Or if a mage could be so possessed and still retain their sanity. Their humanity.
Please don't start thinking like that. Otherwise, we're never going to actually fight anything. We're just going to think like, oh, there could be a human being underneath that skeleton or that shell.
Yes, it is madness and cruelty that define abominations. If those are lacking, if the mage remembers the person they truly are, then they are not an abomination. I never saw that. Thank you for showing me another way of looking at it.
Ooh, major willpower.
Irving told me about how you became a Grey Warden, and that unpleasant incident that occurred prior to your departure from the Circle.
Oh yeah, Jalen.
That's not something either of us can alter. So, it is best to put it behind you. But that aside, you're a Grey Warden now, and perhaps I presume too much by saying this, but the Circle is proud of you. And perhaps you would be dead now. Thinking such things is neither productive nor good for your soul. You can agonize about how you should have been at the tower, or you can imagine that you weren't there because you had to be elsewhere. Sometimes it gives me comfort to think that everything will end up the way it's supposed to, that it will be all right. You were chosen. You survived the joining when others did not. Perhaps it was meant to be.
I like Wynn. She's very intelligent.
I must ask, what does being a Grey Warden mean to you?
Ooh, lots of choices here. What does it mean to me? Means I've been chosen to do something important and beat a hero.
There's that, of course. But there's more to being a Grey Warden than killing darkspawn and saving the world from the Blight. Ultimately, being a Grey Warden is about serving others. About serving all people, whether elves or dwarves or men.
I don't quite understand.
As a Grey Warden, you are a guardian of men. And you guard them because their continued existence is more important than you are. Thus it is you who serves, not they.
I'm not sure how I feel about this.
A good king, a true king who cares for his land, uses his power to rule firmly but fairly. He serves his people first and foremost. The king who does not do this, who believes that he is entitled to his power, who abuses it and uses it for his own means, is a tyrant. If you live apart from others and your actions affect only you, then you may do as you wish. But if you have power, influence, and strength, your every action will be as a drop of water in a clear, still pond. The drop causes ripples, and ripples spread. Think of how far they will go, how wide they will become, how will they affect the pond. But I've lectured enough for today. I should stop before I wear out my welcome.
I actually don't mind the lectures, actually. Wise Wynn.
You're quite taken with each other, aren't you?
Oh. Hello.
I almost wish I didn't. Half of us aren't getting any sleep, the way you two carry on all night.
Ooh. Sorry.
I've noticed your blossoming relationship, and I wanted to ask you where you thought it was going. It seems he only ever has one thing on his mind. I question the wisdom of a Grey Warden being involved in such an affair.
I don't believe that. Severin is special and I have fun with him. It almost feels like I should say that if I want to imply romantic feelings, because if we're just taking it one day at a time...
Which is why I worry. You are a Grey Warden. You have responsibilities, and I fear you will neglect them.
I can handle it.
Love is ultimately selfish. It demands that one be devoted to a single person who may fully occupy one's mind and heart to the exclusion of all else. A Grey Warden cannot afford to be selfish. You may be forced to make a choice between saving your love and saving everyone else. And then what would you do?
That's an ultimatum.
You may have to save one or both of you unnecessary anguish later on.
I'm not giving up what we have.
I have given my advice. Do with it what you will.
Oh, good. My relationship with her didn't go down.
What's on your mind?
Oh my god, I can actually start talking with her now.
Oh, yes, and thank you for asking. I'm feeling much better today.
Please let me know if there's anything I can do.
Well, thank you for your kindness, my dear. It certainly warms these rickety old bones. What's on your mind?
Just thinking about being a Grey Warden.
Is something troubling you?
Kind of seems like Wynn's kind of the only sane man of the group, or only sane woman. You can just go to her. She's like, you know, that grandmother who will just listen to your troubles and understand no matter what. Let's see. It's just difficult sometimes.
You are one of the 2 surviving Grey Wardens in Ferelden. You defend all of us, and much rests on your shoulders. It may not mean much to you, but thank you for having the courage to continue to fight.
Hey, I need your help too. I don't give up easily.
And that gives me hope.
Constantly getting her approval.
Have you heard much about the Grey Wardens of old?
Ooh, even more discussion. Only what I've heard in the old tales.
It was said that watching the Wardens ride in on their white griffins was enough to rouse a weary heart and put the dance back in the step of an old man. The Grey Wardens were powerful, feared and respected, but they also inspired the common people. I remember a tale that was told to me many years ago.
Ooh, story time. Come on.
The Blight had ravaged the land for months, and the armies of the great kings had amassed for one last stand. As the sun burst through the clouds that boiled and churned in the dark sky above, it illuminated a vast, seething horde of darkspawn, with the archdemon at its head. And it was then, when courage seemed to fail, and all lost to death and despair, that the Grey Wardens came. They arrived with the beating of wings like mighty war drums, and stood before the armies of men.
I love the way how you tell a story. Griffins?
Yes, griffins. Now listen to the rest of the story. The Grey Wardens, grim and fearless, marched forth, ever between the men and the encroaching darkspawn. They formed a shield of their own bodies and held that line until the archdemon was dead and the last darkspawn lay trampled in the dirt. And then, demanding neither reward nor recognition for their sacrifice, the Grey Wardens departed. When the clouds finally rolled back and the sun shone full upon the blighted ground, the great kings knew that they had lost no men, and none of their blood had been spilled.
When did this happen?
This is a tale about no battle the Grey Wardens have fought, and yet about them all. They have always defended us from the darkspawn, taking losses so we do not have to. People may have forgotten over the centuries, but nothing has changed. This knowledge has been blessing and burden to Grey Wardens past, and now it shall be your blessing and your burden.
So it's a story that didn't really happen, yet symbolizes everything that did happen. It actually makes more sense in your head when you think about it, as opposed to if you try to say it out loud.
What's on your mind?